That is so cool. Hey guys, Savage Joy here with Real Progressives. Tonight I am rejoined by Brian Abramson. He actually is going to share what's happened since he was on last time, which was quite a bit. You're running in Minnesota, correct?
That's
And
correct.
what is your district again?
22A.
22A, that's right. Now, why are there two? Is it just a really big district or
I really don't know.
oh.
This is 22A.
Okay.
And there's a 22B.
So last time Brian was here, he was a Democrat. And that was during the primaries. And like we are very familiar with the way we were treated as burners, and like what we see going on right now, Brian had some unfair bullshit happening during the primaries, and he got the raw deal. And instead of giving up, he switched to independent, and he's still running his campaign. So, can you first? What was the number of votes that you lost by?
I think it was about 190 or so.
That's so incredibly minute.
Yeah.
Wow. So what makes you think that shenanigans were going on?
Basically, at the endorsement convention, I lost by about 70 or so percent. So I figured, well, it was just backdoor deals. My local campaign or my local DFL chair basically I knew he wasn't for me anyways from the very beginning. So he decided to uh, he decided to go behind closed doors and get everybody to vote for the other guy. That came up like one day before the endorsement convention.
Wow. So were you kind of planning on this? If you lose by a small amount, you're just gonna go indie?
Yeah, I kind of had that from the very beginning. I knew I wasn't going to get the DFL endorsement, and I knew it. I just knew it. But I mean, I have every intention. I even told them from the very beginning, I have every intention to go to November.
And why didn't you just run indie from the get-go?
Well, at the time, I was the only one that was running in the DFL.
Oh,
I
I
mean,
see.
I was running since July of 2017. I was trying to get my name out there. I was actually connecting very well with the DFL, people within the DFL. Not so much the heads, like the chairmans and stuff like that, but I was really connecting with the people, and the chairs kind of noticed that. So that's when they kind of decided, well, we're going to try to find somebody else and get Brian out of the way.
Wow. I hear that so much. Unfortunately, so many of my candidates. What now, first off, with your state, are you mail-in? Have you guys started voting yet?
Absolutely. They started that probably about 20 or so days ago.
Wow. And
Yeah.
do you have any idea what the record turnout is? Like, they don't even tell you if it's crowded or,
No.
wow.
Mm-mm.
Hi. Do you want to introduce your little cutie pie there?
This is my daughter Emma.
She's a fabulous artist, you guys. Fabulous artist. And you know what's so cute? Like, I love how proud you are of your dad for running. You are his biggest supporter, and it's amazing. What do you hope to see in the future when your daughter is getting older? What changes are you looking forward to?
Well, I'm hoping that we have single payer and hopefully that we have a livable wage and that we have tuition free education for people like my daughter and my son.
Yeah, right on. Are they one of the reason that you decided to run?
Um, not really. I mean, I'd love to see everybody succeed, just like Paul Wellstone says. If we do well when everybody does well, and that's basically why I ran.
Absolutely. So, what are your biggest goals? I know you are big on single payer, as every single progressive slash anyone should be. Why is that important to you?
Because there are people in the state that are not getting the care that they need. I mean, I work with people that have disabilities and stuff like that. They usually have pretty good health care and they're taken care of very well. I believe that could be carried on for everybody. Like I said, there are people that are paying way too much for insurance and not getting the coverage that they need.
Yeah, absolutely. As someone who's dealing with multiple surgeries right now, I mean, GoFundMe is the leading health insurance. It's disgusting. It's just, and I can't even imagine if you're a parent having to worry about any kind of unexpected bills like that. Because I know even just as a married woman with no kids, it's just, it's hard to deal with. What about prescription drugs? Are you open to working with some kind of legislation to put a cap on prescription prices?
Absolutely. Yep. They've been trying to work on that in Minnesota, and I would definitely try to help with that cause.
And what about the legalization of cannabis?
Oh, I'm definitely for that. I'm definitely for legalization, regulation, and taxation of cannabis to make sure not only for economic reasons but social reasons as well.
And I'm sure you saw today about Canada,
Yes.
which is pretty exciting. And I think it'll be interesting to watch their economy because as we've seen Colorado and other places, their economy has boomed. What are the main differences between you and the Democrat running in your race?
Well, I'm a progressive, and he's a fake progressive.
Does he use the word progressive?
He used the word at the endorsement convention, and I almost laughed. I mean, number one, I didn't know anything about him, so I couldn't make any kind of judgment. But he talked about protecting ACA, and he talked about basically self-serving, writing legislation for his mom and his sister daycare program. I mean, there's nothing progressive about serving for one person, or you have to be there for the people. If you don't stand up for the people, you're useless.
Does he take big money?
That I guess I'm not sure. He does take PAC money from unions and stuff like that. I have not. I have only received individual donations from $50 or less, basically.
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
Because the second somebody says progressive and then you find out they take any kind of donations from anything like that, you're not progressive. Sorry.
Yeah.
Do you think you're going to be able to debate them?
Do you mean actually like an actual debate?
Mm-hmm.
They've already had their debates, and I wasn't invited.
Oh. What determines that? Just your party, or do you have to have a certain amount of like
that? I'm not sure. I wasn't even invited. They had it within like a couple of weeks after the primary, so I mean it was pretty quick. I didn't even know about it until it actually like the day of. So I wasn't invited. I don't know. So
when you go canvassing or you do phone banking, What are the concerns that you hear the most?
I mean, definitely healthcare. I mean, that's at the forefront, and also infrastructure, basically roads and our water and stuff like that. I mean, there are places in Minnesota right now that have worse water than Flint, Michigan, and it's very sad. We have to get that fixed.
Absolutely. So, do you support a Green New Deal?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think we talked about that last time, and I do completely. I think we need more wind energy and solar energy. We need the whole deal.
Yeah, for sure. What's your minimum wage there?
I think it just got raised to like 9.85. It went up like 20 cents.
Wow. In Pennsylvania, we're at 7.25. Incredible. So, are you with Fight for 15, or do you think in your area it should be more? Where do you stand on that?
Right now, I we we are like in Minnesota, in Minneapolis. They won the Fight for 15, and St. Paul, they just recently won the Fight for 15. So I don't see why it couldn't be for the whole state and not just the bigger areas in Minnesota.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting how some states do it by city. That's how Seattle did it too.
And our senator, the guy that he lives in Laverne too, the guy that I ran against 2 years ago, he's trying to write legislation to basically cap it so we don't even reach that $15, so it doesn't come down to us. So they're definitely fighting that even before it happens here, statewide.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, now I forget the state, but there is one state who's actually decreasing their minimum wage, which is just
I think
pretty abhorrent.
was that Missouri, maybe. I think
It That sounds familiar. It could be.
I think it was Missouri.
That's that's scary. You think you're making progress, and then it's just kind of
Yeah, I mean, if the Republicans here in this state, if they had their way, they would definitely they would definitely decrease it. They would definitely want to decrease it down to the national average if they had their way.
And do you live in a Republican district?
I would say it's fairly conservative. Yeah, I found though that even the conservatives are more independent, which is good for my favor. Um, Basically, so I mean, this district is a lot more independent than people actually think.
Yeah. Well, I notice, I'm a very proud independent myself. And I notice when you say independent, people kind of respect that more than saying, I'm a Dem. When you say you're a Dem, instantly I think, what kind? You know what I mean? Okay, do you support this? Do you support that? Do you like Joe Biden? Do you, and then I have to kind of like analyze, are you a Dem or like a Dem? So
Yeah,
when you say you're independent,
I get that even
people
still.
know you're independent, like you are your own person and you make up your own rules.
Yeah.
So what differences have you seen since you started running independent instead? Have the Democrats kind of laid off you, or is it still like more of a tight race and they still consider you a threat?
I think they still do consider me a threat. I know that they troll my page every once in a while. So yeah, I think I'm still a threat to them and stuff like that. And they go on my page and try to poke the bear, and I just take the high road. So
What do you think their grievances are? Just that you will, turn out progressives, or it's really just they're scared you're going to rally the people?
yeah, they know that I can get people together. I mean, on just during the primaries, I gathered more people than I thought I would ever get. I mean, because I didn't have the resources that the endorsed guy would have had and stuff like that. They had more lists and more infrastructure to go ahead and get more people, but they didn't really get it by much. So
what are you needing as far as campaigning? Do you have a good group of volunteers? Do you need phone bankers, canvassers?
oh, we need the whole gamut. I do have a new app that's very user friendly. Basically, they can text, they can do the phone banking and do the canvassing. So if anybody's interested, we're using what is called 10 more votes. I don't know if you heard about that, but it's very user friendly. Everything's right there. Scripts for phone banking is right there. Basically texting, it's already preloaded. All I do is just press on the voter, press send, and it's gone. So
awesome. What are you should you win this, what is going to be your first issue that you tackle? Because there's so much shit going wrong right now. So what is going to be that first thing that you cannot wait to get in and start working on?
I think I'm going to work on legalization of cannabis right off the bat. Because that's definitely a need, and I think it's becoming more popular. And I believe that we can definitely get it passed within the next couple of years.
And I think that's going to help with Medicare for all as well, so we can at least help people in the meantime.
Yeah. What is sad is we had a chance for single payer. There's actually a senator here, a Democratic senator, that actually wrote a bill that would have given us single payer. But of course,
Conyers and Randon put that on the shelf. I actually had the woman running. I had the woman running against him on last night, Maria Estrada. She's taken his ass on. She's never run for anything before, and she came in second in the Democratic primary. So because it's California, she's taken him on, and. Yeah, a Dem is the one who squashed Medicare for all. So when people do this, well, vote blue no matter who, well, these are the kind of people you get when you say that and you vote for any Dem regardless. This is an option. This is what you may end up with. And it's interesting because if anyone could do it, you would think it would be California. Like, we had so much hope when that came out, like, oh man, we got this. But then when I started interviewing candidates from California, I found out there's actually quite a number of Republicans there, which is very interesting because you certainly would not think it. But I digress. What do you tell people when they say, why should I vote? What's the point? Look at all the votes getting thrown out. It's not going to count. Look what they did to us in 2016. What's the point? What do you tell them?
Locally here, like in our area, I believe that they have a pretty fair process. I don't think they throw out any votes. There's not many people that's getting turned away or disenfranchised or anything like that. I believe that it's pretty good because we have paper ballots, so I think everything is on the up and up as far as I know and as far as I can tell. So I mean, go out and vote. I mean, we have a governor's race here in Minnesota. Go out and vote. We definitely need out of the people that we have, a Democratic governor. We definitely need to get him elected. So.
Who is running that you favor?
Well, he's not my first choice, and he's not really a progressive. He says he is, but Tim Walz is the guy that I'm going to vote for. He,
Sounds familiar a little bit.
yeah, I mean, the other guy wants to, invoke pre-existing conditions, and stuff like that, and throw people off of insurance and kind of do the death Trump care that I mean he would rubber stamp everything that Trump does. So I definitely would vote for Tim Walz. Again, I would. He's not the one that got endorsed originally. It was actually a progressive that actually got endorsed, which was very surprising within the DFL. But yeah, I'm going to vote for Tim Walz. He says, anyways, that he's for cannabis legalization. So I guess we need to get behind him on that. And he said that he would sign any kind of single payer that comes through. I mean, like I said, that's what he says. But so hopefully he comes through with that.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Keith Ellison in your state?
Yes.
Not a fan?
Yes and no. Basically, there's not like in Minnesota, just politics kind of just blew up around I would say the first part of July, because the shit just hit the fan basically. Because we endorsed somebody else. His name was Matt Pelican, another progressive. So I voted for him in the primaries and stuff like that. And then Keith Ellison came in like the day after the endorsement and said, I'm going to run for Attorney General. I'm like, what? Because Lori Swanson, our Attorney General now, announced that she was going to run for governor. So that's the reason why Ellison decided to jump in the race in the first place.
I see.
But like I said, he was not my first choice. I don't think I'm going to vote for him, to tell you the truth. I'm going to vote for there's a legalized marijuana now party in Minnesota, and I'm going to vote for that guy. His name is Noah Johnson.
Keith, I wouldn't vote for Keith Ellison. And it's not even, those poor women coming out with the accusations. That's just gross in itself. But, he's just a dick. I don't know. Like, he's just, honestly, when you watch interviews with him, like, he's just a dick. I don't know. I just don't get it with him.
No matter what happens, the party's going to, nothing's happening, this and that, and he's our guy, and they're gonna stand behind him. They're gonna stand behind him no matter what. Even after the thing with Kavanaugh, I mean, the Republicans backed him, so the Democrats are gonna back Ellison, definitely.
Absolutely. I mean, it's really incredible. Do you think that there's any hope within the Democratic Party?
I gave them a chance. I gave them a good chance. I gave them a good 2 years of my time, and I don't believe so. I really don't. I think the labor union part of the DFL has kind of steered things the way that they want to, and they're more establishment. They're more like a Hillary kind of a group, basically, and it's very sad because Minnesota itself is a progressive state. So,
yeah, that's definitely disappointing because that's basically not democratic at all. To be a shill is like the opposite of Democrat. What else do you have on your platform that you're very passionate about?
I think we need to definitely take care of our roads, and like I said, our roads and bridges. I found out that there's some roads and bridges programs that have not been funded for about 50 years, which is very sad. I mean, we have roads in this area, probably the worst roads in the state, that aren't getting taken care of. And yeah, we definitely need to get those fixed and get those appropriated and get those funded.
And you, do you support a federal job guarantee?
I do at a state level, I wouldn't be able to really do much about it, unless I run for Congress, which an option. I don't know in the future. So who knows? I definitely support those.
It's important to also, get people who support these things even on a local level, because you're going to be dealing with people in those higher positions. And so we need like any voices we can possibly have. Do you have a lot of immigrants in your district?
They're actually growing. But yeah, we do have a good amount of immigrants in this area.
And what is your opinion on everything that's going on?
Well, I believe that I believe that
excuse me.
if they come here legally, they should stay here. If they come here, like on a visa or anything like that, they should have definitely a path to citizenship. They definitely need. That's what we need. We need to have a path for citizenship.
Absolutely. Just addressing a comment, John, you are totally right. Johnny is from there, but unfortunately he dropped out. Johnny Axam, so nobody's going to be voting for him, unfortunately. But he is a pistol, and he would have been fun to vote for.
I know. I worked with him a little bit.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. He's fun. Anybody else you're looking to, even from across the country, who you're, really supporting their campaign?
Well, there's someone in South Dakota that's running for governor. His name is Billy Sutton. I'm more interested in what happens in that race than what happens in my state, to tell you the truth.
Billy Sutton?
Yeah.
I'll look him up.
He's running for governor in South Dakota against a very Trump like Kristi Noem.
Okay, cool. Never heard of him.
He's not really progressive. But we definitely can't have a Kristi Noem in the governor's office in South Dakota.
This is what is, a lot of people are dealing with right now, is because so many people sat on their ass during the primaries, and they're stuck with this blue who they don't really get passionate about. But okay, so you're stuck with that person who you're completely ambivalent with, or a Republican, because you didn't get off your ass and vote in the primaries. Mm-hmm. So what sucks is, like, I've interviewed almost 100 candidates from across the country, and I meet these really good ones who I'm like, oh, I'd give anything to vote for them, and then they get like a 20% voter turnout. And I'm like, I understand feeling dejected and feeling like, why the hell should I vote? But if you have an actual good candidate, do it. I can understand if your options suck and you're just like, what's the point? But like, if you have people who are actually good, hey, how about you do it?
Well, you definitely need to go out and vote, and you definitely do have to go out and phone bank for them and canvass for them and stuff like that. That's the big thing. Unfortunately, the progressives in this area, and there's not very many, but they're not able to get that infrastructure and get the help that they need to win, and that's unfortunate. That's sad.
It is because it's very easy to, afterwards be like, oh man, we're stuck with this piece of shit. Well, what'd you do to not get stuck with them? Yeah. So it's hard. It really is, because your mind tells you, what's the point? But you have to think about what what may happen if you don't. Um, what else is something you're really passionate about that you want to attack in that position?
I definitely would like to, like I said, get into the tuition-free education for public college. I believe that it's definitely needed, especially in this area, because there are a lot of groups that are lacking the workers that are needed for those jobs. So I mean, even farmers, they have colleges for farmers. We need farmers. We need the people that can go out there and help the farmers strive and stuff like that.
Absolutely. What about people who already have student loans? Do you support any kind of forgiveness?
I would definitely support something like that. I mean, even myself, I have loans. I mean, I didn't go to a very expensive school. Unfortunately, it got defaulted on. And now they added like another $50,000 to it. They're going to add another $50,000. It looks like because I went into yeah, because and then I said they add another 50,000 because I'm going into a repayment program that's gonna. I mean, it's gonna add more to it. So something that should have been $50,000 is now going to be like 150, maybe 200,000.
Oh my God. That's just disgusting. Ugh.
And I mean, I didn't go to the University of Minnesota or anything like that. I just went to I went to National American University, and now I'm
Wow.
paying the price because I couldn't pay their $700 a month that they set.
Right. Wow, that's incredible. Um, so if there is one thing you want to leave our viewers with, to have them share the show with people in Minnesota, have them send, check out your website, anything like that, what do you want to leave our audience with?
Like I said, we need help. I mean, we have an infrastructure that can reach the 20,000 people or so that we need, and we need people to do that. We need the people behind the phones to do that. We also need donations. I mean, even $5, $10 would help, along the way. But do check out the website. I've gotten a lot of compliments about my platform. I mean, it's a progressive platform. I base it off of Bernie because he's working for the people, and that's what I'm going to be doing too if I get elected.
He's the man. Hey, we both have the tattoos to prove it. Bernie all the way, for sure. Well, thank you so much for joining us again, Brian. What's your website so people know out there?
Absolutely. It's BrianAbrahamsonforhouse.com.
Okay, sweet. All right. Thank you so much. And best of luck with everything. Thank you guys for watching. Tomorrow night, I am having a gentleman on who was recommended by a bunch of viewers. He's in Maine. His name is Zach Ringelstein. I think I'm saying that right. But he'll be on tomorrow night at 9 Eastern. We have a lot to talk about, so hopefully that'll be a good show. But thank you guys for watching. Once more, thank you, Brian, for coming back.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And get out and vote, you guys. I'm not playing. Much love.